Hello BookTube, this is Weekly Reads, and I'm happy to report that I have a Bell redemption. I bail rather frequently, and I often give those books a second or third or fourth or more chances, what I call bail redemptions. And over the course of December, I've been participating in two new BookTube events. Remember December and DNF December, which, since I have a different terminology, I'm also calling Bail Redemption December. So, one of the books I selected for Bail Redemption December or DNF December was The Black Book by Orhan Pamuk, a book that I have been meaning to bail redeem for nearly 20 years. And I successfully bail redeemed this book, and I'm quite happy that I did. Although I ultimately didn't like it. So, The Black Book is about an Istanbul lawyer named Galip, who is married to his cousin Ruya. One day, Ruya leaves Galip, and Galip goes in search of her. He comes to suspect that Ruya has fled with her older brother, Salal, who is a famous columnist for the Milliyet newspaper. And what follows is a rather surreal postmodern journey through the Istanbul demi-monde. I guess you could call it a postmodern demi-monde, where eventually Galip begins to transform into Salal. And the book kind of delves into questions of identity, of storytelling, both on a personal level and on a cultural level. And so every other chapter is either a Galip chapter or a reprint of one of Salal's columns. In the first part, the odd number chapters are Galip's and the even are Salal's, and then in the second part, the even numbered chapters are Galip's and the odd numbered are Salal's. Although after a certain point, some of the columns are actually Galip's, since he at the end briefly assumes the Salal's identity. There are some affecting and really well done passages. The chapters about the Mannequin Museum are brilliant. The back and forth between Galip and a fan of Salal's. There's a chapter on a gangster who drives his car into the Bosphorus and that gangster's nightclub. There's also a chapter about prostitutes who assume the identities of famous film actresses, which will be used also in LA Confidential. So, yeah. So there were some really neat parts of the book. And those parts got me thinking about making a dedicated effort to read Pamuk's work, as well as revisiting The Rat by Gunter Grass and more of Grass's work, The Tin Drum amongst them. And then the ending happened, and that killed pretty much whatever momentum I had for those ideas. Although I will kind of address that a bit more in a second. So the ending falls apart. Um, the mystery is never really resolved of what exactly happened. It's just they're killed off. Salal killed in the street, and Ruya in this store that plays a prominent role in their old neighborhood. And it's basically like an afterthought, ultimately. And the ending isn't satisfying at all. And I don't think it really works. Because the mystery, it's a bit of an afterthought. It does become an afterthought. And I think ultimately, I never quite bought that Gallup was as in love with Ruya as I'm told he is. It's not shown. And I think the same is true for Salal of how exactly he's so revered when it's, he's increasingly weird. So it's, yeah. So I don't know now if I do really want to make an extended dive into a number of Nobel laureates' work. I still have My Name is Red, and I will pick that up sometime next year, hopefully. But I don't know about picking up more of Pamuk's work or revisiting The Rat and The Tin Drum by Gunter Grass, or Nadine Gordimer and Gao Xing Zhang and others. And I was thinking about maybe taking the weekend to think about it, and then maybe make a video on sometime next week to settle my decisions on that. But I am glad that I did finish the Black Book, and that's off my chest. Even if I ultimately wish the later parts of the book did not happen. Anyway, so that takes care of that. So the only other book I read this week was one of the slim volumes of poetry that I picked up over the past week or so. And I read The View from Saturn by Alice Friman. This is a fantastic collection. I don't think I found a dud in here. The collection is largely about growing older, family members growing older, relations with those family members, and caring for those family members as they grow old. And it's really moving. I really found a number of the poems in this collection excellent. And I'm definitely looking forward to reading more of Friman's work in the future. And especially, I really enjoyed the poems the Archaeopay was really good. I really liked The Skin. The Joker was quite nice. Letter to New Zealand was quite great. Was really good too. So yeah, there were quite a few poems that I really, really enjoyed. So yeah. Now that leads me to today's readings. I'm doing this early because I'm planning on because this upcoming reading week is going to be weird. How weird? I don't know. I'll report back next week on that. But I'm also wanting to rearrange my science fiction and fantasy and kind of start to think about the next batch of science fiction and fantasy that I will be unhauling in the near future. Currently, I have 6 boxes of books that I am planning on unhauling, and I don't know if I want to add a 7th or eighth book, seventh or eighth box now, or wait until later in the new year to do that. But I do want to go ahead and do that because I also need to clean one of the bookcases because it hasn't been cleaned since I did my library tour last year or earlier this year. So this look forward is going to encompass not only tonight's readings or today's readings, but also the weekend, next work weeks, and also next weekend, the final 2 days of December. So I've already decided that for the 30th and 31st of December, I want to read 12 volumes of manga. So on Saturday the 30th, I plan on reading the first 6 volumes of Orient by Shinobu Ohtaka. So this is Ohtaka's current series. It's a historical fantasy set in the not Edo period, Sengoku period Japan. And it's an alternate vision of the Sengoku period in which demons have conquered Japan. And a dedicated group of samurai are fighting them. I read this volume a year or so ago, and I rather liked it. And I've picked up 5 more volumes, but I've never gone back to it, and I'm not entirely sure why I'm so cautious about this series. I mean, maybe it's me wanting to fully complete Magi the Labyrinth of Magic first, of which I have 2 volumes left to collect, or I don't know. But I will be getting to the first 6 next Saturday. Not this coming Saturday, but the next one. And on the 31st, I plan on reading volumes 5 through 10 of Four Nights of the Apocalypse by Nakaba Suzuki. This is the sequel series to The Seven Deadly Sins. It's about 4 young trainee knights who are foretold to bring about the downfall of a corrupted King Arthur. I have been loving this series, and I cannot wait to get to more. So that leaves tonight's readings and the weekend and this coming work week. So, of course, Sunday is Christmas Eve and Monday is Christmas Day. Right now, I don't know exactly how my Sunday reading is going to be affected. Normally, me and my mom go over to my brother's early on Christmas Day to watch my nieces and nephews open their presents. But this year, we'll be hosting them on Christmas Eve, and I think I'm expected to be doing some cooking, so I don't know exactly how much reading I'll be able to do on Sunday. But so I'm kind of going to treat that Sunday as a bit of a blank. If I have time, maybe I'll read some more poetry, or maybe a few volumes of manga. But the main things that I'm planning on reading this week are tonight and Saturday, and then over the course of the work week. So that leaves me with probably 2 books. And again, I've been working on 2 new booktube events that are taking place in December. Remember December and DNF December. For Remember December, I set myself 10 books to read. I am down to 4 right now. Dancer from the Dance by Andrew Holleran. Sea People by Christina Thompson. And The Ruin of Kings by Jenn Lyons. And The Darkness That Comes Before by R. Scott Bakker. And for Bail Redemption December, DNF December, Empire Falls by Richard Russo, and Legacy of Violence by Caroline Elkins. I'm not really interested right now in either The Rune of Kings or The Darkness That Comes Before. A few months ago, I was really interested in revisiting The Rune of Kings, but that's since abated, particularly the last few weeks, and the same is true of The Darkness That Comes Before. Now, I'm not going to put either one on, even though I'm sort of not going to touch them or get to them this month. There's always a possibility of next year, even though my interest is definitely at a very, very low point. But I'm not going to be unhauling either one of these in the foreseeable future. I think they're largely safe for now. I think I could get to Empire Falls another time. I don't know exactly when, but I'm pretty sure I could do something. So I'll get to this eventually, but not now. So let's remove that one's bookmark and move you over here. And I think as far as Legacy of Violence is concerned, I can bundle it into Historathon next year. And I will do my Historathon TBR plan sometime next week. So, did I just break the book? Okay. Let's put you over there. So I'm going to stick with so it'll be Sea People and Dancer from the Dance. So I will start Sea People this afternoon and hopefully finish it on Saturday. But if I don't, then I should have time to finish it on Sunday. And if I do manage to finish it on Sunday, and I have time on Saturday, and I have time on Sunday, then I'll figure something out on Sunday. And then on Monday, I will start on Dancer from the Dance, and it should take me throughout the work week. And if I finish it before then I'll try to find something short to sort of, get me through to the weekend when I will be reading the manga. One thing I have discovered is that I underestimate how long it's going to take me to read works of literary fiction. I had thought it would take me the weekend and Monday to read the Black Book. It actually took me through Wednesday, so 2 extra days. And those 2 extra days killed the book. So anyway, so that's my plans for this coming reading week. Next week's videos, so I'll probably will do a video on an idea for a Nobel Prize project, although whether or not I'll ultimately decide to go through with it or just talk about it or propose it without actually actively pursuing it, I'll decide this weekend. Hopefully there'll be some tag videos. I haven't been doing tag videos lately. Of course, there's also Historathon 2024's TBR video I might do. Although I could also wait until the new year to do that. On Sunday, after I finish the year's readings, I will do a year in review video and see how that goes. And at some point, I might also start to film the unhaul videos and then put them up whenever I do finally donate the books that I'm going to be donating. And I'll talk a lot more about that in that particular video. And If there's any videos that strike my fancy or that I really want to talk about, I've been trying to do one on comic books for weeks now, and it just isn't working. So yeah. So hopefully I'll have at least 5 videos next week. Obviously, the year in review will be considered the start of a week. But anyway, so I need to start uploading this and getting to work on rearranging my science fiction and fantasy. Wish me luck. I will report on how that went in another video when I talk about my library. So until next week, BookTube, thank you. Have a great afternoon and weekend. And until I see you next time, stay safe.